What is the Bible? Written by Rachel Held Evans and Matthew Paul Turner. Illustrated by Ying Hui Tan. What is the Bible? What is the Bible? It's a big book that's filled with all kinds of stories. Some of the stories are scary. Some are funny. Some are strange and mysterious. And some of them are beautiful, the kind that will fill you up with wonder and hope. Now imagine if God put all those stories in one place. That's what the Bible is, a huge library you can hold in your hands. Many of the stories in the Bible are about God. The very first one is about God creating the universe and creating you and me. There are stories about God ruling and about God providing. But not all the stories are about God. There are stories about monsters. There are huge dragons with scaly tails, giants with sharp swords, and a king who turned into a beast for 7 years. There are stories about animals. There's a crafty snake that tempts people with power, a donkey that sees an angel and speaks aloud, and a big fish that swallows a man whole. There are helpful ravens, soaring eagles, humble sparrows, and a lost sheep that eventually gets found. There are stories about people, too. There are powerful people, brave people, proud people, terrible people, and faithful people. The Bible tells us about good kings and bad kings, kind queens and mean queens. There are stories about warriors who do great things and warriors who make choices that are ugly and violent. And there are stories about regular people who become strong and brave. There are people who survive fiery furnaces, dens filled with lions, and terrible plagues involving slimy frogs, creepy crawly insects, and enormous hail. We learn about people who call fire down from the sky and people who predict the future from their dreams. The Bible is filled with magical moments, like food falling from the sky, water bursting out of rocks, and bushes that become consumed by fire, but don't ever burn up. There are unbelievable events and miraculous experiences. A large body of water splits in two, a rainstorm lasts 40 days and nights and floods the entire planet, and the sun stands still on a certain day. Not every story in the Bible is told the same way. There are poems and songs, wise sayings and letters, and memories that someone wrote down so they would not forget. The poems are about love and mercy, bravery and distress, colorful celebrations and sad disappointments. The songs tell us that God is always near, that God is for us and not against us, and that God is our shepherd, our protector, our healer. The wise sayings often give us ideas for how to live with passion and purpose, how to get along with others, and how to make peace with people who have hurt us. The letters hold words of encouragement, words of hope, and words of affirmation for a life well lived. But the best part of all? In the Bible, we meet Jesus, who teaches us new things about God, faith, and ourselves. God tells us we are light. God tells us we are welcome. God tells us we love God when we love people. Jesus tells us to care for people who are sick, to feed people who are hungry, and to use our gifts to make the world better. Jesus tells us that God loves each one of us. What is the Bible? It's God's library of stories told in many different ways. And if a story in that library is confusing or scary or sad, we can imagine how Jesus, who loves us, might tell that story. The Bible can help us heal. It can make us think. It can bring us together. It can remind us why we're here. It can show us the way home.